Hello, my name's Mark. Welcome to Living La Dolce Vita.
Right. Oh, we're flipping these. Hello everyone and welcome back. So, you'll have seen a bit of time lapse and a bit of real time filming. Obviously, as you can see, I'm fixing the floor in place permanently now. Now then, I had to do a bit of, I didn't film it because, well, it was very awkward with the floor up and everything like that, where to put the camera in. Of course, obviously the sun is shining in through the window at a low angle now, so anyway, I had to do a little bit of, well, not this end actually, trimming. Looks like a big gap, but by the time we put the skirting board in, that gap will disappear. A little bit of trimming to get it to fit, to close up these gaps. A bit fiddly, but I managed to move the floor this way, near to the door, to close up the gap at this end. And again, that disappears under the skirting, so you're not going to see that. And obviously, I'm starting to screw down the floor now. I've put glue at the tongue and groove joint, but not on the beams themselves, because that's what you would normally do to stop all the floor squeaking and stuff like that. But I haven't done it simply because if for any reason I need to lift this floor up, all I need to do is run the saw along the joint and the whole floor will become loose. I mean, with all the screws in it, it should be fairly secure, tight onto the beams, so it shouldn't be an issue. Well, if it is, just have to live with it. There's so many squeaks and clicks and noises in this house. An extra one, it won't matter. Oh, so I'm tired now. Right, so on the time lapse, I think it was on the time lapse, you might have seen me using a chalk line. Unfortunately, the chalk line didn't work. There was no, well, there's chalk in it, but it didn't leave a mark. It's not working for some reason. So I just put it in, pulled it tight, and just marked it off. And then now I've just put chalk, penned in some lines with the biro. Seems to work fine. Okay, so when I had the floor up, I replaced the junction box. This is one of them here. This will go in that space there. That's a little bit easier actually, because there's only 2 cables going in. In fact, no, I mean, for the price of these, I might as well use this. So I don't know if you can see. This obviously is the back. Tell you what, I'll open it up and I'll show you. So hopefully in the previous film I did explain it well enough, but in case I didn't, so in this case I've only got three terminals here, 1, 2 and 3, but each terminal has 4 terminals. Anyway, what this means is all those 4, if you put a live wire into that block there, all those 4 connections in there will become live, which means then you only got to put a single wire in each instead of trying to put, you know. So if I got the one end of the floor I've just done was 4 cables, so obviously, which is great because I've got there 4 terminals there, 4 terminals there, 4 there. So there's 4 lives, 4 neutrals and 4 earths. Yes, makes life so much easier rather than trying to fiddle with stiff cables in one point. Yeah, anyway, so that's that. Now we're not going to film the rest of me screwing down the floor. You've seen a bit of it, so it's just rinse and repeat, as they say. Now then, tomorrow being Wednesday, I'm going to be away most of the day, so I'm going to have a rest tomorrow. I think might as well do that, have a rest. But then I'll put a few more screws down. I'm not going to finish it all off tonight. Depends. No, because I got some tea to make as well, food. So I'm just going to put enough screws in to hold it in place while the glue sets. You know, to stop it moving this back and forth that way. Not that it will anyway, but and then junction box for that. Sort that out, and then make sure all these cables now are the right length. Well, they are the right length, but the light switch cable isn't the right length, and I'm not quite sure why I cut so much for that purpose. Yeah, unless I was thinking of going from here to there, but even that's too much. Oh well, anyway, it is what it is. So once they're in position and then the junction box is done, I can then put a plasterboard on this piece up here. Once that's done, then I can put the ceiling up. I know, yeah. And then I have to check. I may have some, but I don't know if I have. Got to get some webbing tape or whatever they call it to do all the joints. Trouble is now, this board is starting to look a bit like a Swiss cheese with all my holes that I've drilled everywhere. But there we are. The plaster will cover it all. And I've got a bit of, I don't know what they call it, a bit of trim to go around here to neaten the edge up, and so you've got something to plaster to. And then, once he's plastered, I can put skirting boards up, painted of course. I'll probably put some sealer on it first, then paint it with just an emulsion. Oh, obviously I've got to clean all this off. Fix the socket and the power unit into there, and then hopefully I can test to see if this heater works. Before I take all this off, I need to, I don't know if you can see, I've got, that's the ceiling plan, that's the stud wall between this room and the bedroom. What's this one? This is one around the door, and this is one the floor. So I'm hesitating because I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't see the words properly. And this is the floor plan. I haven't measured that yet. Actually, what am I doing? Oh, right. I've just spotted something. I've already drawn the floor plan there, but I've done another one up here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But all these really is to make life easier in the long run, because when stuff is down, you don't know where the cables and the pipes and everything are running. So I will transfer this all into a proper file. It may come of use to me, but it'll certainly help with the future owner if he's got a floor plan of everything and where all this, where all the cables and pipes are running. Yeah. So another little bit of news. I had a chap around today to give me to talk to me about what do they call it? Aqua heater, aqua fisher, something like that. Anyway, it basically heats your hot water on demand through the electrics. So, but it's programmable, and it's all, you know, it's not quite as simple as one of the old type of geysers, but it's got what does he called it phase change, but it's a material. What did the material call it? Anyway, basically it does a chemical reaction and it gives off heat. And he assures me this material, when it's activated, will heat 140 litres of water. Obviously when you transfer the heat from the material into the pipes and etc. into the feed. We'll see. Anyway, so I've got them to come out and fit one of those for me. It means eventually I may just get rid of the gas boiler, but it's, you know, it's quite a small unit. But of course the point about it is it means I can have hot water, baths and showers running electrically, but of course all in the daytime certainly it'll all run off the solar. I won't need to use the grid for that. So, you know, I may start having baths instead, because it won't cost me anything except the price of the unit to put it in. But yeah, and it's supposed to be good for 40 years, this phase change material. Oh, he did tell me what it was. I can't remember. But anyway, if I find it on the blurb, I'll let you know in the next film. So, yeah. So I thought I might as well spend my money on something nice before I die. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah. I can see the end of the line now with this room. It was beginning to get on my nerves. But, yeah. Right, I'm burbling I think now, so I'm just going to I'm going to check the time because I'm not quite sure what the time is. Must be getting off for 4 o'clock. I may put a few more screws in the floor, I don't know yet, see how it goes. The batteries are running down on the drill. That's another thing, I'm pre-drilling the floor with the screws, because to try and get the screws to catch in this flooring is quite tricky. It just goes all over the shop. So pre-drill, it doesn't take much more time. Yeah. So mulching the walls eventually, and I can try and work out what I'm going to do with the room. Oh, obviously I've got to fit the door, but the door's going to open inwards. I'll probably buy a new door for it anyway. Right. think that's everything for now, everybody, and thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.